Are you still there? I know a way out, but I can't make it there myself. We need to work together. Descend towards the bottom of the mountain. We can meet there. Ooh, who are you? Who is this mysterious person speaking to us? And what's with the cogs in the background? Oh, sugar. The broken mechanism controls the portal. From there we can escape. I am still too weak to move, but I'm glad you are making progress. I need to gather my strength so we can leave together. You are close enough now. I don't have to wait for you to be asleep anymore. A long time ago, they closed the portal by breaking the mechanism. It is here, nearby. Find it. With the last seismic thing, we're going to place the final thing in to create the portal to leave Grimrock. Ah, I am whole again. You fool! You only lived so I can be set free. The only freedom you shall have is death. Ah! Hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play The Legend of Grimrock, the final episode, if I have anything to say about it. If this is not the final episode, I'm going way too slowly. There may be some bonus episodes after this, but yeah. As a recap, if you haven't seen this since like the start, if you're one of those people that sees the first episode and then you're like, oh, I'm going to skip to the end. Yes, the game looks very different now. We're in a kind of crazy mechanical area with lots of cogs and horrible things. The story goes that as we were progressing through the dungeon, a weird disembodied voice started appearing to us in our dreams. It was talking about how it seemed to make it sound like it was another one of us. It was like another prisoner that was slowly descending through the steps. We also got to know another man named Turum who unfortunately died. We weren't supposed to get this far, it seems. We weren't supposed to come into this crazy place in the heart of the mountains, but finally when we got to the middle, this disembodied voice began to communicate to us even when we were awake. It told us that there was a portal in the heart of the mountain, where we currently now are. There was a portal in the heart of the mountain that, if we repaired, would allow us and the disembodied voice to escape. However, at the end of the last episode, we repaired the entire machine, the portal, and it turned out this crazy cube thing came out, said that it had tricked us, and it killed us. Brilliant. Also, before we repair the machine again to continue with the game, I want to point out these things up here. Look at this. I love this little touch. Oh, I did not mean to fall down there. Oh well, we can do it here. Look. These like the whole way through the game there's like light shafts coming through, and you always think, well, where's this light coming from? This isn't very realistic. But look, on these lower floors they're light bulbs. This is how the light bulbs for me are the main bit that makes this seem really weird and out of a fantasy setting, because I mean, light bulbs, that's crazy. But yeah, there's genuine light bulbs up above us. Whoa, and another tentacle monster. Oh, we got paralyzed. Oh, we haven't been paralyzed for so long. And Chaos hit so much damage, it's going to take us ages to kill this guy now. Oh well. So yeah, anyway, I just got paralyzed in the name of showing you guys light bulbs, so there you go. And yeah, let's not procrastinate. Let's grab this bulb back. And what I'm actually going to do as well before we repair this machine, now that we can see that this thing is not the nicest thing in the world, as maybe, I don't know, I feel like I could have given this away accidentally, or I don't know. This would be a good game to blind LP, just to see how someone reacts to this. But anyway, right. Oh no, we need to put the infuser in last, don't we? Because that's the one I left. Yes, so before we do this, we're going to have a boss fight here. I am going to make some potions, so 1 second. Ah, like magic. That's going to look so good. Okay, so we've made some potions here. We've got a bunch of healing potions up at the top. We've got 3 speed potions there for all my offensive characters that aren't Arachnia. And lastly, I wanted to show off another potion I haven't even mentioned in the LP yet. This is a Poignant Potion. This is from putting 2 cave nettles into the recipe. 1 cave nettle, for the record, is an anti-venom. This one, it poisons. I think if you drink it, it will poison a character, perhaps. Yeah, see, so it poisons Arachnia. I don't know why it exists in the game, I really don't. So we're going to drink an anti-venom there and just fix that up. So, kind of a weird potion. The last one, of course, that I'm not showing off here is the sulphurous potion, which I showed off in a previous episode. I would love to be able to craft one, but you need a certain mushroom, which I seem to have just gobbled down in greed before. Now, I saved the game before filming this here, because this is what, and I've called it end game, because after we place this in, we're going to go into kind of a sequence of of Legend of Grimrock, where it will seal off the floor, and you can't go back and grind, you can't go and get pickups or secrets. We've got all of the pickups and secrets so far anyway, but you can't go back for that stuff after this. This is the point of no return, which obviously many people will be familiar with from different games. So, I've saved it here, and if I ever do a bonus episode where I show off like max skill trees and stuff, if I can ever find a place to grind, then this is where I'll be like saving from. So honestly, this is the point of no return, and there'll be one point I save after this, but that's it. So yeah, we're going to place in the last thing, and we are going to see what we can do about this monster thing, because even though now we know it's trying to betray us, there's no way to progress in the game without doing it. So anyway, right, here's the ore, the mineral rich with energy. We're going to place it in. I just love the sound of that horn, it's so good. Aha, I am whole again, he says again. Ha 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 ha. That was a Final Fantasy X reference. You fool, you've only lived, blah blah blah. The only freedom you shall have is death. And now he's coming at us. Okay, so how the hell do we fight this guy? Let's shoot him. 0 damage. I cannot be stopped, he says. It says, rather. So yeah, I didn't want to give away as well that it was the machine talking to us accidentally before. Die, it screams. I don't know how it sounds. You notice how this game has no voice acting, but it gets by just fine. I think that's a very important fact for some developers to learn. There's a pressure pad in the middle. Oh dear, and now we're being attacked by something else. Check it out, it's a new Guardian. But the new Guardian, you may have just noticed, got crushed. Shit, I fell down the hole. He said, I will never die again. We're going to go back up. So the Guardian just got crushed. Well, what's going on there? There's a Shorak Tar here. There's loads of stuff. What are we meant to be doing? There's loads of enemies. Well, do you remember that I pointed out a place and I even marked it on my map? I said, remember this area with the Ugardians? Not the Ugardians, the Goromorgs. Do you remember that? Well, in a weird twist of events, the Goromorgs now we can understand are sort of our friends. Over in the Goromorg area with the black Goromorgs, there's a teleporter that will allow you to get to safety. We are now in a different area of the prison. You can still hear it rumbling around, and he screams, come closer, but we're safe. So yeah, the Goromorgs, I guess in a weird way, were the good guys, and they were defending this thing that obviously is this terrible creation, and the whole idea of Mount Grimrock is to keep this thing at bay. And at some point, some stupid king from far away, also I've got something to show you, at some point some stupid king elsewhere in the world decided, oh, this is a prison, is it? I'm going to throw prisoners in there then, which is a stupid idea. The whole place was designed to keep this thing in, and now inadvertently we, in a bid for our own freedom, have released it. And the reason why these guys aren't evil necessarily, even though they look evil as hell, they're just trying to stop this thing, this destruction from being brought against the world, which I love the idea of. So anyway, if you have a look at the top of this staircase, it's kind of bugged, and this is the one poorly polished thing in the entire game, in my opinion. If you look as we climb up, it's just like a dead end. Can you see how, so that's kind of crappy. Anyway, he says, running away will do you no good, but fine. So now, do you remember the tomb level that we just skipped through, a tiny little section? Now we can enter the tomb properly. So the tomb does have a purpose, yes. So we're going to throw away our current torch to get our light back, and we're in the tomb. There's a rock here. This is important. Make sure you keep it. The designers were quite nice with it. Here you can see that this is called the Tomb of Designers. The people that created the dungeon. Goromorgs, no doubt. Now, this pressure pad here, you'll see all of these faces. This is going to fill the room with poison. Now, this is where being an Earth Mage has paid off for me, because I struggled here on my first time playing the game, really struggled. But being an Earth Mage, of course, I can protect myself from these poison shields. What you have to do is you'll notice there's, just on the right-hand side as you enter into this area, there's a button on the wall. Now, there are 3 buttons in this tiny corridor. When we step on the pressure pad, it's going to release poison in here, and it's going to close the door in and the door out. We need to press all 3 buttons while we're choking basically to death to open up the door and get out on the right side, not the way we came from. So this is how you do it. If you've got an Earth Mage, you're going to basically be able to swim around in here and be happy. Otherwise, it will kill you. It will horribly, horribly kill you. But check it out. So we're pretty much okay here. There's 1 button. Your vision's obscured, of course. And then there's 2, 1 on the left, 1 on the right of the doorway out. As you can see, I'm pretty much fine here. I'm not taking much damage at all because of the poison shield, which is great. Only Natalie was poisoned. You'll notice I created 2 anti-venoms. This is why, just in case 2 people had been poisoned. And there you go. I'm totally safe. You can rest on the other side. Don't worry. There's no enemies, nothing for you to fight. And you get through that devious little trap there. And another Goromorg. And somehow these guys don't look scary to me now, which I love. I love it. Okay, so what have we got? A keyhole, another double keyhole for another grand looking door. How do we get through? Well, you can go left and you can go right. Let's go right first. Sorry, left first. Let's go left first. So over here, this is a bit of a familiar sight really. We've got a pressure pad on the far side of the room with a teleporter that's turning on and off and 2 open trapdoors. What happens if we go down the trapdoors? Nothing, in truth. There's a Shorak Tor here to fight. I swear I'm saying their names wrong. There's one to fight. You can kill him pretty quickly, obviously. There's nothing else. Of course, we're back in the prison level here, so the tile set swaps again. And you can hear it really close. I love the idea of it trampling against those walls, wanting to kill us. I love it. It's so cool. So yeah, there's nothing down there. There's no reason to drop down. No secrets, nothing. It's kind of the last trapdoor of the game, and there's no reason to go down there. So, what do? Remember that rock we picked up? This is what we do. First of all, if you mess up the timing, you'll hit yourself with the rock. I love that. I think that's so cool. So it just fires the rock back at you, and that thing could do some damage as well. You'd be surprised. I've hit myself for like 13 damage before with it, which is pretty crazy, especially on Natalie, who can't dodge it. So anyway, all you need to do is have good timing, wait for it to turn off, and throw it through. Right, which will open up this platform. Now you need good timing again, because you want to get all the way over there, but there's another trapdoor. So how do we pass that? Well, on the left-hand side... I did it too early there. Don't try and anticipate it, just wait for it to turn off. On the left-hand side, you'll find a hidden button on the wall, which you can press just as you get teleported across. And now here's kind of the hardest bit, to be honest. Getting across... Oh, man, I made it. Getting across there onto the other thing. So there you go. And we found one of the 2 keys. Very nice, very simple. I think at this point, the devs were quite cool about it. They didn't make... They could have made the tomb a really long, grasping, sprawling map, but I think at that point it kind of gets rid of the excitement of the fact there's like a big boss fight going on. So yeah, I kind of agree with that. What game was it I was playing recently where something happened? Oh no, it was Guild Wars 2 I'm thinking of. In Guild Wars 2 they do that bit with Claw Island, and it's like, oh my god. And in Claw Island there's all this stuff going on, like being attacked, and then you just go on this massive detour that totally takes away from the impact of the fight. Anyway, for the second key, it's a lot more simple. There's 3 pressure pads. The first time you stand on these pads, nothing will happen. The second time you tread on the pads, though, the second time they get weighed down, these will come out and just destroy you, basically, right? So what you want to do is weigh all of them down. I thought it'd be fitting to use our previous weapons that I've just been lugging around with me. Throw those down there and we'll make a trail like that. And you can get the other key. It's very simple. You just need to weigh them down. So I think at this point in the game, you're kind of conditioned to think that only the weight of your characters is going to be satisfactory for a pressure pad, but that's not true at all. Here it is. So there you go. We now have both keys, both ornate keys, the final keys of the game. But before you leave, have a scan of the walls. And if you are keen-eyed, you'll notice there's a rune here. And I love that it's a rune because there's so few runes in the game, you might have forgotten to be looking for them again by this point. But there's a rune. And what happens if we press the rune? We get the final treasure. This is the last treasure in the entire game, guys. Here we go. And once again, I'll cut into older footage. This is the Grimrock miniature. That will proc your achievement for having found all 7 treasures in the game. The Grimrock miniature, the flavor text reads that this is a golden miniature of those alien creatures who dwell in the lower levels of Mount Grimrock. So it kind of acknowledges that these are alien creatures, and I like the idea that it calls them alien, considering the previous treasure we found talked about how there could be another world. I really like that, so maybe there is a hint there somewhere. But look at this, look, these are the treasures, and this is our chance to really kind of enjoy this for now. We have the compass from right at the start. We've got every single treasure in the game right here. There's no reason to lug them all around with you. We've got all of the gems in the game as well, why not? I'm sure there's some other cool stuff we could have collected, but there you go. Natalie is, she's done. She's kind of rich. She's finished her quest. 1 key, 2 key, oh, 2 key. We come this far and I turn out I struggle even putting keys in the locks. Okay, and now this is kind of like a mini boss fight. It's really kind of cool, actually. This is the last Guardian, really, that we have to fight. In a sense, I've got to stop saying that. And this is a new Guardian that seems to attack quite smart. I don't know why, but I feel like he has pretty good AI as well. He seems to get off the spells just as he needs to. Or he did on my test run. Maybe I was just unlucky. He's got a lot of health, though. He's a new Guardian with plenty of health that puts up a bit of a threat to you. Like one final enemy defending this area, which is cool, but you can kill him like that. Maybe he doesn't even have that much health. Maybe I just got some bad rolls before. And we are in the real tomb of designers. Which is a very cool place. So here we've got a torch on the back wall and we've got notes along the sides. We also have 2 scrolls. So we're going to put the scrolls on Liz for Liz to read. And here we go. This is some of the more significant information we find. The first scroll says, we are the designers who built this prison for a single purpose, to hold the Undying one until the gears of time finally come to rest. should the Undying be awakened, we left behind the only weapon capable of taming the beast. So on the surface, obviously that makes a lot of sense, but I quite like the idea that it talks about how the gears of time finally come to rest, another tie into this whole gear theme. I don't know whether you can read much further into that, but it's an interesting word that they choose to use there. I think that there must be some connection there. So okay, so these are the Goromorg, these little statues, I assume, that had built the entire place. And here on this other scroll, we can read that the weapon of power is hidden in the shadows of this tomb. But to truly hurt the Undying, you need to take him apart, piece by piece. When he is incomplete, he can be slain. So what that means is we need to find a weapon that will allow us to take all those items back out that we put in him earlier, which is why on the previous episode I told you to remember where you were placing them in, which would help you defeat the creature again. So yeah, but what's this weapon? First of all, what's this weapon? Second of all, where's this weapon? And third of all, if they have this weapon, why did they just lock him up in the first place? Why didn't they like destroy him before? But in any case, the last things we get in this room are these weird notes. Ohudj, sorry, Itna, and we've got Urtep, and lastly we have Illo. Now these are obviously just names of the Goromorgs here, but what's interesting here actually is if you read the names backwards, we get Juho, I'm going to be saying these names wrong, Anti, I'm definitely saying them wrong, we get Petri, and lastly we get, oh, did we already read this one? And Ollie. Okay, now these names backwards actually are the names of the 4 guys that made the game. It's a bit self-referential, but I quite like it, to be honest. So yeah, the 4 guys that made the game, they kind of taken a place in the story, I guess, in a weird way. They're the Goromorg that made the temple. So I think that's really cool, and that they put that little bit of an homage to themselves in there. So very nice. And that's the names of some of the devs backwards. Now, how do we get this weapon? We're kind of stuck in here. This is the last puzzle, sort of. How do we get it? Well, let's have a look at our scrolls again. The weapon of power is hidden in the shadows of this tomb. But to truly hurt the Undying, you need to take them apart piece by piece. The shadows of the tomb. Well, you could go back and have a look at various things, but the answer, and I love how there's this sign on the crypt here again. The answer is that you need to be in darkness. Make it shadow. So go into darkness, and there you go. A light will shine down. Magical light. Giving us the weapon of power. And what is this thing, you ask? It's basically a gun. It's not a gun, but it's pretty cool. I love the way that they do this. This is the weapon of power. We're going to put it onto Chaos. We're going to spend the rest of the game relying on our light spell for sustenance. By picking up the weapon of power, it fully heals your team, and in my opinion, that should be a good place to save. So I'm going to save it here. That's going to be the final save of the game. We now have the weapon. It also creates this teleporter back here. By firing the weapon, as you can see, it's just the shock icon. But if we fire this at the Undying, it will help us immensely actually defeat the guy. So yeah, we get a gun. He's also got his axe. He doesn't need that shield that we were lugging around for a long time. You'll notice that I've actually abandoned it now. We've got rid of it. We have all of these potions. We're going to put a speed potion onto each person. We're going to make sure everyone has at least 2 regular potions too, just to be safe, like so. And the anti-venom, I guess, in an emergency, if something manages to poison us, will be okay. So here we go, guys. This is the final boss fight coming up. Right. 1, 2. Actually, I shouldn't have drank those now. If we die, I'll do it differently. Okay, we're back in. And there's the cube. All right, fire the machine gun at it. Fire the gun at it. And that slows it down and turns it off. So what you want to do is hit it and then start dismantling it. You can only dismantle 1 item at a time. And as you can see there, he says, what the hell are you doing? I've got myself killed here. Damn it. It's so hard. There's the game over screen. Okay. It's pretty gory as well, with all the iron just roughly jagging into the screen there. All right, let's click again. Okay, so what we need to do is shoot him. It will slow him down and stop him. And each time you manage to stop him without getting yourself killed, that is, you can dismantle him a little bit more. Now, where is he? Once he sees you, he will not stop chasing you. So that's the main goal here. And the room also, at the same time, is continuously spawning a whole bunch of different enemies into the area. So there's that cog that we put in before, and you can just throw them away. He says, what do you think you're doing, mortal? I like the idea that he's like this undying, immortal thing, and it's because he's a machine. That kind of fits quite nicely for me. Now, what the game also does while you have to fight this guy, and he will instantly kill you if you're anywhere near him, no matter how much health you've got or anything, right? What the game does is it starts randomly spawning enemies into the room too. So what you can try to do, and they will never stop spawning. As far as I'm aware, they will never stop spawning. So you kind of have to complete this boss fight with these other things in the area. Now, obviously, there's a problem with that in that they will do damage to you. But the bigger problem is that they can block you off. As you've already seen, I already got a game over because I got blocked by one of the easiest little enemies that you'll find in this area. So they can be very annoying for that. There's also this pressure pad here. I feel like on my first time ever playing the game that I had to do something with that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so we'll kill this guy and another Shractor. That's me dead. And there you go. I'm dying here because I have to explain what's going on with the fight. So hopefully that makes sense. This is not an LP that was meant to be of high skill play. Right. Now, lastly, one other thing that you guys should know about is that when you kill these extra enemies in the area, you will have seen me pick it up already, if you notice, they actually start to drop keys. Here you go, look, here's a key already that seems to have dropped already. They might have just spawned in the room, I'm not sure. But they will actually drop keys. Now, these keys can be used on those doors I mentioned in the previous episode that are littering the sides of the room. Now, oh my god, there he is. Now, they're not essential to go in. They're not secrets in there. There's nothing much going on in those rooms, but you will find some small supplies and perhaps a respite from the fight. So he says there's no way out. We can open up the door, and here you can find a lightning rod. So this will help us if we're running out of items. A lot of it's lightning-themed stuff in the first place. So here, look, he's going to come in and crush us. So it's very difficult to really make much use of those rooms. I think perhaps the designers thought that this final fight was going to last a lot longer than it really does. If you're on your last legs, though, maybe you'll want that lightning rod. This guy is very susceptible to lightning damage, so you can kill him a lot quicker if you do it. But, okay, so that's kind of the mechanics of the whole fight that I've spent ages talking about here. So we're going to ignore that now, and we're going to try and dismantle him. So there we go. We got the thermal thing. Now, the best way to fight him, really, is to bring him into an area of the map where there's no enemies to interrupt you and to... Oh! That was sneaky. I thought you got me there. The best way to fight him is to bring him into a largely derelict area of the map. If you're not killing the enemies, they're also not respawning, so you should be pretty safe. He says, I barely even felt that. Prepare to die. As I say, you can only get one item each time, so be very careful about how you deal with this. And also, there's a very long cooldown on the gun, so you also need to be mindful of that. Also, there are actually two faces to this cube that don't have any items on them whatsoever. All right, which would be the top and bottom ones, like when he was where he was originally positioned. So you need to watch out for those. Anyway, he says, I feel pain. Oh, man, I couldn't read all of that. But basically now he feels pain. And he will describe how he starts to leak and stuff. At this point, the gun is useless. You can throw it away. You don't need it. It will do a minor bit of damage, but you don't really need it anymore after that. Now, once you've dismantled all of that stuff off of him, you can start to actually damage him. And now that you can actually damage him, he can be killed. The problem is that he still takes see there he says I seem to be leaking. The problem is he takes a lot of damage, and it takes a long time to kill him, which is all ample opportunity for the enemies to get you stuck, or for him to catch you out by going in little squares around him. There's any number of things that could happen that would stop you from being able to kill him, because he does take a long time. He's got a lot of health. So oh my god, and it feels so scary. I love this fight because how didn't I die there? Whoa. Okay, one of us died. I don't want to finish the game with Arachnia dead. How do we get a save crystal, though? Is the answer that we don't? There is a save crystal back in here. Maybe we can come back. I didn't think I'd come back here. This wasn't meant to be such a long, drawn-out experience. Okay, fine. Yes, I can hide. Of course I can hide from you. Don't you worry. I will hide. I'll hide it for as long as I want. Now, we've got to come back in here, and we can't have a poison shield. So I'm going to rest up, guys. I'll see you in a second. This wasn't even where the save crystal was. I need to go down a floor, not up a floor. Okay, down. Right. I'll see you guys back at the crystal. Okay, awesome. Right, and this is actually a really good opportunity to save, because in my test run I did it all in one, and I kind of wanted to do it all in one here too. But that's a really nice place to save, because now that we've actually dismantled him, it's kind of a two-stage boss fight. You need to get all the stuff away from him, and then you need to actually fight him. And by doing it this way, actually, it's kind of worked in my favor, because now if I die, yes, I'll be kind of a long way away from the fight, but also I can easily just start fighting him, and you can just slowly win by attrition, I guess, in that sense. But I'm not going to try and do that, because it's a bit... But whoa! I thought I'd killed all of you. Okay, never mind. Well, I need to go past you. Excuse me, kind sir. Don't paralyze me. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't want to win it as a war of attrition, though. So here we go. This is gonna be it, guys. Right. This is where I'm gonna be able to drink my speed potions. Okay, here we go. I don't want too many Shractor here. You'll notice he starts glowing orange. That kind of shows when you can damage him. What's really nice about this guy, honestly, is that he will just run over all of the other monsters. So he's kind of fun in that way. He says, "You only made me more angry." He's kind of fun in that way, but also it's kind of frustrating when you do get perfectly boxed in by him. There, can you see how he swaps direction every now and then? That's how you can get killed. Oh, you can get killed like that as well. Oh my god. Okay, we're alright. Yeah, so that's how you can get yourself killed. By being too close to him all the time. Oh, Shractor. Oh, we got him, we got him, we got him. He says, "No, this can't be happening." Ah! We need to fight because Arachne's going to die. I do not want her to be dead at the end of this LP. He's blown up. His remains are there. We just need to finish off this Guardian. There we go, he's down. Oh, and there's another seismic event. What's going on? What's going on? Ah! What an amazing sound design there. Honestly, it really brings that cutscene to life. But that's not all. Legend of Grimrock, there you go. That's the end. I mean, I assume we escaped. There's some really cool art there. I really, really do like it. And I'll tell you what, if I ever could do proper sound design, like sound effects and stuff, I would so have them all over the lore series, because all we had there were just a couple of images, really well-drawn images. But with that little bit of sound design, it really, for me, I can picture that as a moving image so clearly. Yeah, so the entire mountain gets destroyed by us 4 prisoners, absolved of our sins now, and we get to flee. As far as Grimrock 2 is concerned, I think it would be very interesting to see if somehow that big beacon or that big light somehow affected people in nearby towns or cities or whatever, and the game literally really is a sequel in terms of the plot of this game somehow impact it. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, so that's the game, guys. This is the credit screen, of course. If you have a look at a lot of the names, just come back over and over and over again. There go Ollie Pels, as you can see. And if you just flip these names around, you'll see that these are the names that we found in that Goromorg crypt pit thing there earlier. So yeah, it's a pretty good game, a nice little twist at the end. I really enjoy the gameplay. Definitely when the second one comes out, I will do an LP of it. I don't know whether it will be blind or what, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did. I'm glad that I finally got around to LPing it, because I had a lot of fun on it my first time playing too. And yeah, thanks very much, guys. There will be at least one bonus, at the very least one bonus episode where I show you creating my party. I want to talk to you a lot about Turum as well. Turum, if you play with Turum, I've been having a look. He has lots of special abilities and stuff that make him move at double movement speed and stuff, which is really cool. So I can't wait to show that to you guys, at least what a Turum run's like. There's a couple of achievements for us left to get, which I want to demonstrate. But otherwise, for the main kind of core part of the LP, that's the Legend of Grimrock, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you played it for yourself, do let me know what you thought of the end as well, because I know it's very abstract and a bit weird, but I like it. There was at least a big final boss, which for an indie title like this with 4 devs, I could imagine, it might just taper off into, oh look, we've ended the 9th floor and there's just an exit, and then that's it. And that could have been really underwhelming. I think they did a good job with it. Also, of course, I will show there's the dungeon editor. Oh, that might have actually turned Fraps off. Okay. Well, that might have screwed me up anyway, but okay. Or maybe you can see the screen, I don't know. But they're very open to modding and creating custom levels and stuff, which, I don't know, could be a possibility at some point. But anyway, there you go, guys. That is another LP in the bag. Oh, it feels good to have finished a project, because I do so many kind of long projects that either will never have an end or are going to, take ages and ages and ages to finish. So this feels really good. If you have followed me through this game, thanks very much, guys, really. I hope to see you about. for whatever's coming next. And thanks again, and I will catch you next time. See you later, everybody.